All right, so it's been about 2 weeks. Excuse me. Oh, I had like a frog in my throat. But it's been about 2 weeks since I last did a vlog after that whole Lolita fiasco, which I'm not trying to relive that anymore. So I figured I'd just do a general vlog. Later this week. I was supposed to do it today. I just was like, I don't feel like putting on Lolita today, man. But basically, I have a Black History project that I'm gonna do, and the person that I chose, I started out because like all the documentaries on this person are real short. Like every time I went to go look for something, they were less than 10 minutes. So y'all know I can't talk for less than 10 minutes as a whole. But so I did when I wrote out because I actually wrote out what I was gonna say. When I wrote it out, it was extensive. I was just like, well, shit. So there's like 7 pages of information that I hand wrote out, and I was like, damn, her life was extensive, but I don't even know. So, and I also figured out that I need to probably physically write instead of typing everything because my hand hurt a lot as I was writing out this lady's biography. So, I'll be getting around to that at some point, and yeah, I'll hopefully tomorrow I'll be in the mood to put on some Lolita so I can film that. But yeah. So what's been going on the last 2 weeks? As promised, I went back to playing video games, and that was refreshing. I had watched Metal Gear Solid 3. I had played a lot of Streets of Rage. I think one day I sat and played some Castlevania 2, and it's just always crazy. So I got back to my normal self. But then I just was watching real random. I have fucked up my algorithm, y'all. I've been watching a lot of random stuff. So basically, I've been watching a lot of stuff about Christian fundamentalists because that whole thing just seems kind of strange to me. Like, basically dictating that women have to be more or less subservient and children have to be subservient to not only their fathers but subservient to their mother. They're like the low man on the ladder when it comes to that kind of life and stuff. And I was just like, why are people like this? Shouldn't it just be like, I don't know, people just, I can understand wanting to be religious and all that good stuff, but why do you have to be domineering and religious? Can't you just be religious and not attach some kind of misogynistic leanings to it? Can't you just, you know, not do that? But apparently, no, we can't do that. We can't not do that because that would fuck up our whole power control situation, the dynamic situation, and that's not gonna fucking work. So yeah, I've been like watching some channel called Fundy Fridays, and it's just like mind blasting. Cause weirdly enough, I'm kind of into like stuff like cults, cause it baffles me in a kind of way how people end up in those situations. I don't understand how people end up in cult situations. Like, I understand the need to understand the things in life that are understandable, if that makes sense. But I don't get how anybody could be in a cult. Now, that's not to say that I would not join a trashy sex cult if given the opportunity, but as a whole, I just don't understand how people, and they always say the same thing, like it started out normal. It just started out, I was trying to figure out stuff because I've been going through things and I was trying to figure out shit. And it just, I didn't even know I was in a cult. So I don't know. It's just, I don't understand how people end up in cult situations. And it's one of those things that kind of like confuse me about life. And I'm just like, how the fuck did you end up? You just was trying to figure out stuff, and next thing you know, you're running from your life from a cult. So I've been watching that kind of stuff. I've also been watching random stuff that the algorithm throws out to me. And one of the most random things I watched today was some Vice expose about young men like in their 20s and stuff that take Viagra when they don't need it. And I'm like, why are people taking medicine? I always thought the rule was you don't take medicine you don't need because you never know what's going to happen with that. So these young men were taking Viagra because they felt it enhanced whatever. So basically, the guy was like trying to figure out, because he was like, it's just going too far, and I need to figure out why I'm doing it. So he talked to like some drug dealer dealing in Viagra, and I'm like, can you really trust? Like, I know they have those sketchy fucking websites where they're like, oh, grow your wang and la la la, grow your schlong and tra la la. You don't go to those because you know you're going to end up with a huge whopping virus, just for openers. But two, why are you going to go, like, I thought drug dealers dealt in, like, drugs, not Viagra drugs. Like, I thought drug dealers dealt in, like, hard, like, bad, life-ruining drugs. I mean, not to say that taking Viagra when you don't need it is not life-ruining, because it is, but oh, I don't know. You can't really even really trust a dealer like that on hard, scary, life-ruining drugs. Why would you trust him on a Viagra situation? So I don't know, but there was like a thing. He went to that guy and they were talking, and he's like, he had Viagra oil and stuff. And then he was like, well, let me ask a doctor, like a real doctor, because I don't know. So he went to the real doctor, and the doctor is just kind of like, why are you taking medicine you don't need? Because you're a young man. And the guy explained to him what his situation was. And he was like, well, you might not want to do that because you become physically dependent on it. And then you might get some situation, and they do tell you this in the actual Viagra commercials and Cialis and all of those commercials, that if you have a situation that's lasting more than 6 hours, you probably need to go to the hospital because it's a problem. So and then I'll get into the last part of what he said with the doctor. So later on, he talks to some guy who had a situation, let's just call it, for 30 something hours. I'm not a dude. I can't imagine a situation lasting for 30 plus hours. He had to go to the hospital. He said he was in pain. And apparently this lasting over 6 hour situation, I forget what the name of it was because it's an actual medical problem. It actually is too much blood there. It's not oxygenated blood. So it's just kind of stuck there, and like, you can't stop your situation. And the guy who was in the hospital for 30 plus hours with that situation, he said they had to take needles, like you get like a shot needle. He said they took various needles and put them into his man area, into like the primary man area, into his dick. They were taking needles of various sizes and drawing the blood out of his dick because he had this 30 plus hour situation going on. And I'm sitting there like, well, damn. So, yeah, I watched it. But I think, and then he talked to like a group of men who had been doing this, and they all felt like they had to do it because they felt like they needed to be able to give gratification to their partner. And basically what it boiled down to was, because he was like, well, I had to admit, he went and talked to some lady that he was in a relationship with and that he had slept with and all this stuff, and explained to her the first time they did it, he was on Viagra. And she's like, why? And he told her, and she was just like, well, you have to be better at communication. So my deduction from all of that was, you need to talk to people and know the first time you're with somebody in that kind of way, you got to learn what they're all about. Because as I said to myself as watching this, everybody does have some basic equipment, but not everybody likes the same thing done to their equipment. So that's the politest way I can put the shit. So you got to figure out and like seriously talk to people. Because the other thing I figured out in all of this is like, I guess life and existence is 99.99% unfucking comfortable conversations with people that you have to have about varying topics, and you need to just suck it the fuck up and have your uncomfortable conversations and get that dumb fucking elephant out of a damn room. So yes, 99.99% of humanity in existence is having uncomfortable, ridiculous fucking conversations with people. Don't take medicine that you don't need. And the last thing I learned was about penis implants, because my mind was fucking blasted by this, because I could not believe this was a thing. And I'm just like, what? So when the guy was talking to the doctor about his situation, he was like, what is this? It was like a diagram of how the penis implant worked. And basically the doctor was like, there was like a bulb in his tummy that gets implanted in your tummy, and then a pump thing that gets implanted into your nudies, basically, and then like 2 balloon type things go into your schlong. So basically you pump your nudies. I feel so weird talking about this. You basically squeeze a nudie and like it'll pump liquid from the sac in your tummy into basically the wang part, and that's what they do. So, and that's what a penis implant is. And I'm just like, what a fucking time we live in. Oh my God, what a time we live in. I was like, they weren't thinking about this shit on the Jetsons. Oh no, and yes, I did have this conversation out loud with myself. I fucking paused the video and had this whole fucking conversation. I was like, they weren't thinking about this on the Jetsons? This was not, like, no, it was flying cars and houses above the skyline. They weren't thinking about penis implants. Now imagine how much more satisfied Jane would have been. That was George Jetson's wife, was Jane. How much more satisfied she would have been if he had had that implant. Because I am thinking George had the worst, most stressful, most emasculating job on the world. His little bullshit fucking boss would be in there yelling and screaming at him all day, every day. He never did anything right in his boss's eyes. You know that man came home and drank. I'm not saying he was an alcoholic, but you know he fucking went in there and had like a glass of brandy. It was like, my day was so fucked up. And she was like, well, can we have a romantic evening? This was his wife. And he's like, I can't, because it's just too stressful. Imagine had he had that implant. I'm just saying. It would have made the Jetsons way like, well, damn. So, so moving on from that, before I give Hanna-Barbera coming in here beating the shit out of me. In other well damn news that went on that I was watching, y'all remember some young lady, this is more for the Lolita set. Like, y'all remember some young lady, what is her name? Venus Angelic. So, I had completely forgotten about her, but a couple days ago, I had watched, like, basically what's been going on with Venus Angelic. Now, admittedly, I know she's had, like, a love-hate relationship with the Lolita community. She had did oh, Jesus. Remember when Mr. Yuen used to, the previous owner of Bodyline, remember when he would go on his model searches, was also, like, low-key a search for a wife? He did get married finally, eventually. And I think that was why he gave up on Bodyline and sold it to somebody else. But, yeah, remember when that was, like, a thing in the middle 2000s, like 2010? Through, like, whenever the fuck that finally stopped, and, like, everybody had complaints about it. She was one of the people that won the Mr. Yan modeling contest situation, and she's always had a dubious, ambiguous, like I said, love-hate relationship within the Lolita community, because basically it was said that she wasn't a real Lolita, whatever the hell that means. I don't fucking know what that means. But, like, I don't know. But she also did, like, some TLC. No good can fucking come from TLC. Let's just throw that out there. But she was also on, like, one of those living doll shows that TLC was trying to throw out back in them days, too. I don't fucking know. So, basically, it was like a summation of what's been going on with her now. And the last thing I had heard was she got away from her mother, who I knew. I went back and read some live journal entries about, like, she was like, I had talked about her, and I was like, I don't have any real beef with her. I just know that this is a Leopold, and what I mean by that is Leopold Mozart. If y'all didn't know, Mozart's father was a huge fucking, like, stage mom. He was a stage mom. He was the innovator of the stage mom, basically. So I was like, we all know this is a Leopold situation. And when she figures out she don't have to put up with that shit, she's gonna bounce, and that's gonna be what the story is. So pretty much that fucking happened. She figured out that this was bullshit with her mother, and she bounced. So good for her. She had gotten married, and what I thought the end of the story was, she got married, moved to Japan, lived a happily ever after, and that was the end of the situation. And I was fine there. But no. Basically, her husband was not abusing her, but like was still pretty much the same thing as her mom. And I'm just like, God, this poor young woman can't catch a damn break. That's just fucked up, man. So apparently she divorced her husband, and now she's doing OnlyFans, which on the face of it, I don't have a problem with anybody entering into any kind of sex work, because one, that's the realest fucking customer service job you can have. Imagine putting up with some shit. Seriously, imagine putting up with having to deal with some shit like sex work. Like, that is the ultimate in, like, what the fuck customer service job. So I'm not going to hate on anybody that has an OnlyFans or whatever other cam service they throw out there. I'm not mad at it. Do what you need to do because you feel like you need to do that to either get what you need sexually or whatever. But sexually, like monetarily, I'm not mad at it. I'm seriously not mad at it. I'm just worried for her because she's been in so many exploitative situations that she's apparently doing this in Japan, and I don't know, like, they like showed like some clip where she looked upset and she went to go talk to some guy who was speaking Japanese, and it seemed like he hit her and she fell. And they played that clip like a couple times, and it was just like, this is not good. And it just makes me worry that she's going from one exploitative situation to another exploitative situation. And it's gotta be hard because you haven't really had great examples of how to be genuinely treated. And it's just like, why the fuck did I watch this? This is making me sad. This was not uplifting. I was expecting an uplifting story of how some girl was getting tortured and she got herself out of the shit and it was wonderful. Her life was great. Nope. That's not what I got. I was just sitting there like, oh God, this is sad. This is making me sad. Kind of how it made me sad at the end when they were talking to all those guys at the Viagra situation, because that had me like intrigued. Then it was horrifying. Then it was like, well, damn. And that's how I am with the Vita situation. It's like, damn, that's fucked up. So I just hope she can make it out of that situation, because that is harsh. That is so harsh. I mean, it's just like, God darn it. So I don't know. I mean, if she's doing it and she wants to do it and she's not being hurt or exploited or whatever, go for all the gusto in the universe. But if it's a situation where she's being exploited, I'm just kind of like, that is so fucked up. So, yeah, the internet's been fucking me up. So, I don't even know. But yeah, my algorithm is completely fucked. Like, I keep watching all this random, like, the algorithm is just so confused. Like, I don't know what to offer you. I'm offering you politics. I'm offering you, like, weird Christian fundamentalist stuff. I'm offering you stuff on Scientology, like Scientology and the aftermath. I've been watching that hardcore on Netflix. And I don't know. It's just been offering me so much random shit that I can't keep up with this randomness. But I'm going to keep fucking up the algorithm because it actually kind of amuses me, and it's kind of funny that whatever you watch one fucking time, they'll just throw out whatever, like, they're like throwing weird shit out, and it's just like, I don't fucking know. Here, watch this. Like, I get weird animal stuff, because sometimes I like watching cute animals. I like watching, like, fancy damn houses. My YouTube, like, if you ever look through the shit that I either, like, follow, a lot of it makes no fucking sense. Like, the video game stuff makes sense, the Lolita stuff makes sense, but then you'll see something like Architectural Digest, and I think I'm on Sotheby's Realty, which are, like, multi-million-dollar homes. I just like random shit. So what can I fucking tell you? Like animal clips. It's just no rhyme or reason to it's just all the insanity that is my mind. So I don't know. But that is all I have for now. And I gotta get around to doing my Lolita Black History project. Sorry I keep swaying, but this is kind of fun. But I don't know when I'm gonna get around to doing that. I need to do that this week because I think the word was they were going to put that up next week. And next week's going to be a damn disaster because next week is my husband's birthday, followed by my brother's birthday. Then on Friday is my mom's birthday. So it's going to be some stuff. So I got to get my life together. But until next time, later.